to all the viewers. Welcome to our live streaming and coming to you by CGTN New Media and the 5G platform. And welcome to everyone to our special coverage. All need to know about Chinese New Year. And also today is a very special day. Today is the Lantern Festival. First of all, wish all our viewers happy holiday. And also this is our live streaming, and you always can tune in with our CGTN New Media platform from Weibo and also from our Facebook and other social media platform. And that's together to celebrate this very special day. And we also have our special guest here with us, Mr. Li. From the China Arts Company, and also Madame Liao Yinghua from Icing Suzhou, and Mr. Tian Haojiang. And today's our very special day, that's the Lantern Festival, or the Spring Lantern Festival. That's a Chinese festival celebrated on the 15th day of the first month in the lunar Chinese calendar. So wish everyone a happy new year and all the best. So maybe gentlemen go first. So maybe let Mr. Ting go first. Or maybe Madame Liao first. Wish everyone good health, and also wish everything goes well in the new year. So today is the Spring Lantern Festival. So wish everyone a happy new year, because this today also marks the final day of the traditional Chinese New Year celebrations. So which means after today we finish all the celebrations to welcome the new year and then start our new year work. So we always talk about actually today is very special, or we talk about the Lantern Festival actually is very special, enjoying a long history more than 2,000 years. And of course we need to mention about food, right? So for the eaten during the Lantern Festival, tangyuan is a must. So this is tangyuan, and it's a glutinous rice bowl typically filled with sweet rice bean paste, sesame paste, or peanut butter. So actually we also make it in the different colors. So look at right now we have 3 colors. This is the glutinous rice bowl. We always have this to celebrate the Lantern Festival. So have a different fillings, and also right now we make it in different colors as well. So look at the lady right now eating the green one, and we also have the white rice ball, and also the one in black. So normally the one in black is filled with the sesame paste, and also for peanut butter as well. So we talk about actually tangyuan is like a sweet food. So we talk about actually the traditional ones always fit in either the sweet red bean paste or sesame paste or peanut butter. So it's really sweet side of food, but right now actually people also maybe try something creative. They also fill in that with a different fillings, so either like the salty ones or the meat one or the vegetables inside. But actually the most popular one still the very sweet fillings inside. And also of course in the northern part of China we call it tangyuan. For the southern part, so the tangyuan actually is for the southern part of China, and also for the Taiwan region and Southeast Asia they call it tangyuan, and for the northern part we call it yuanxiao. But actually for tangyuan or yuanxiao, it's kind of different due to the different menu making and filling process, but they are very similar in shape and taste. And for today's live show, we welcome everyone to join us. Please stay tuned. And as you can see, we prepared a lot of the different gifts. So that will be our giveaways to our lucky ones. So talk about the differences between 汤圆 and 元宵. So 元宵may be the larger in size. So we talk about maybe 元宵 is larger size and 汤圆 is a smaller size. And of course, they have a different way of cooking it. So 汤圆 from the southern part of China, so they put the fillings inside and also use the skin to cover it. And for 元宵, actually, you shake it. So that is why you look at the skin. Actually, for 汤圆, actually, so have very smooth the skins, but for 元宵, actually, it's look at they have the not really have that round shape. And also we talk about how we eat it. Actually, right now we also fried 元宵. I can tell it's very tasty, but 汤圆 actually you cannot fry it. And also 元宵, you cannot actually put it into the freeze because it may be have the cracker on the surface. So actually, for the people actually, no matter where you're from, please enjoy either 汤圆 or 元宵. And once again, you're right now watching our special coverage. And we talk about actually, this is a day also marking the family reunion. And of course, in different places in China, they have different way to celebrate it. So in Taizhou, so the customs to celebrate the Lantern Festival, I believe, are a little bit different. First, we talk about actually the 15th day, but actually in Taizhou we celebrate the Lantern Festival day before, so basically as the 14th day of the New Year. So we have that the eating 汤圆 or the dragon or line dancing. It all happened on the 14th day. And we also eat 元宵 or 汤圆. But actually we eat another food. You can consider it as a quite thick soup. So look at we put in the different veggies. So we have a bamboo shoot, mushroom, and also the preserved meat. So basically we put everything inside to make it a very thick soup. I believe this is something that maybe only you can enjoy it in Taizhou. So talk of my childhood, actually didn't have 汤圆. We just had this one to celebrate the Lantern Festival. So on the night of 14th, we ate the salty one on in the morning of the next day. That's the 15th day. So we eat a sweet one. So basically that means like you're alive. Well, of course, first met some difficulties, but in the end, you overcome all these difficulties and welcome and enjoy the good days. So basically that means that the life circle or the life journey is first to have some salty one, but at the end that will be very sweet. So that have very good meaning.
是的，是的。
芝麻开花节节高。还有一个地方叫仙台，对吧？
仙居。
仙居啊。
仙居，对。
对对对，我知道那个地方就在正月15的时候，它做花灯做的还特别的好。
对，是。那个真木老家就是其他地方呢，它一样，比如说赏花灯，是吧？
And we also talk about actually this day we also enjoy that festive lanterns.
就是我刚才说的这两个，我不知道其他地方有没有，但是在台州是比较特别的。
In Taizhou, actually, we're quite well known in making a festive lantern.
有一点像，但其实呢，这个都是一种羹汤类的，但里面呢可以放各种各样的食材。
对，另外也有一种叫法叫山粉糊，它实际上意思上这叫法不一样，但这个内容基本上都是一样的。
没错。
So we have a different account of a soup. So basically, that's a very specific for a certain location. So we're not really eat the 汤圆 or 元宵. But of course, one thing you need to do is to enjoy the lantern, and that sometimes actually we made the lantern by ourselves. So that's kind of like a merry-go-round. That's the trotting horse lamp. Actually, in very early days, actually we made by ourselves. So it's a lantern adorned with a revolving circle of paper horses. So I not really have something quite to put in my memory regarding my childhood, how to celebrate the Spring Lantern Festival, because I was overseas from a quite young age. And actually I'm very good at cooking. So actually invite a lot of people and treat them with a very nice meal. And what about you, Mr. Tian? So as a kid, of course, we really appreciate the sesame paste, 元宵. So that's always popular among kids. And also we talk about different ways to make 元宵 or 汤圆. So I was born in Beijing. So in my childhood, I actually always can see that people who selling these 元宵, actually, you always can see them actually shaking to make the 元宵 all the time. And also please be careful because this is really served in soup, so it's really hot. And for overseas Chinese, I actually really looking forward to eating the 元宵 or 汤圆 because look at the shape, it's round shape. So it's always remit that meaning that people getting together to celebrate this day with the families. So the Chinese people believe that the round shape of the balls in which they're served symbolize family togetherness. So also I'm really glad that I can celebrate today with my mom. Actually, my mom in a quite high age. So we also wish her good health. So Mr. Jia actually went abroad until 29 years old and going to United States for advanced education. So we talk about the festive air actually in Beijing was quite rich. Actually, we always have a different literature to describe that for different days. Before the New Year and also during the New Year celebration, what people should do. Actually, we have the different way to describe that, especially in the literature.
当然，在北京，你想可以这个逛庙会啊，这个吃糖葫芦啊。
So in Beijing, actually, during the Chinese Lunar New Year, actually, the normal practice or activities for people to visit that's the Fairy Temple, eating tanghu, that's very sweet and sour, the sweet food.
非常令人难忘的一个
重要的节日，没错，因为
So it's kind of the tomatoes
正月呢称为宵，所以呢这个正月
or
就等
the
于
cannibal sticks.
月圆之日，元宵节。
And I also talk about today actually also marks the first full moon.
有一种这个合家团圆，寓意着新的一年呢。
So we talk about actually the 18 Tangyuan or Yuanxiao may bring the family harmony, happiness, and luck in the new year.
还应该少不了一项，就是。
And we also talk about that we enjoy today by looking at the different kinds of the lanterns. And also, of course, a very important activity is that we also need to solve
好不好？
the riddles on the lanterns.
所有的都打开是吗？哦，哎呦，这个呀，在这个我们直播开始之前呢，我还跟我们的导演说，能不能让我看一看里面的这个谜面都是什么？然后只是说就是打开就知道了。
So basically, we have the questions
那这样，来我们
and the
3位老
paper.
师呢，我们
So
每人
let's
拿一个这灯谜的谜面。
randomly draw one from the plates.
真的不知
So
道。
hope we can choose the
我也是跟他们刚
simplest one.
可以打开吗？还是不打开？
可以可以，
So let's
李老师
open
您
it.
这边看看谜面是什么？给我们的网友朋友也展示一下啊。您来念一下。
这个字我都认识。 飞鸿鸟翼，是吧？鸟，湖边周远市。打一个省的省名。
得打一个省。
So my question actually is, or the riddles actually need to base on that 10 characters to guess one province.
没有。
湖边周远市。飞鸿鸟翼。
我们看一看廖老师那个，廖老师那什么？给大家展示一下。
这个真的难住了，这个是啥呀？哪个省什么？
廖老师您那什么？
鸟是吧？鸟云起，外鸿鸟飞。
是鸟云起。
乌云啊，不是鸟云。
乌云，对。
乌云起。
所以这个
我不。
您那个是。
飞鸿鸟。
乌云起外，鸿鸟飞。这是什么呢？您猜一猜，乌云是什么颜色的？
黑的，黑的。
So we talk about that.
对，没错，李老师猜中了这个廖老师的啊。
The riddle is that a swan goose fly across a dark cloud. So that's also guessed one province in China.
湖边这个周远市，这个船已经走远了，是吧？
湖北。
一定是跟3点水有关的，
是吧？
So for this riddle,
飞鸿鸟翼鸟，
那就江苏。
离得有点近了，
越来越近。
啊。
talk about the swan goose already gone and the boat also departed.
这个这是浙江？
应该是浙江。对。
这个为什么是浙江呢？对，飞鸿鸟翼鸟。湖边周远市。
浙江。所以廖老师猜中了李老师的，李老师猜中了廖老师的是吗？田老师，您那个谜面是什么？
我这个是非常简单，
您那颜色跟别人不一样。
永久太平。
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 为什么您这是黄色的呢？
对呀。
长安。
永久太平
是吧？
So this is just very simple one, just 4 characters in Chinese, and internal peace and tranquility.
现代的啊。
永久太平。那就是
永久太平。
also guess a place in China.
宁左太平，那肯定是跟
宁夏，反正安宁啊。
So that should be a place or the name of the
还有这里还有号的。
a places that with a Chinese character meaning peace.
长安不是省
但是不是
份吗？
对，不是这个，不是。
啊，哦，
我们看一下啊，
其实我们哪个省份哪个城市不会永久太平？
这
我拿到的这个是春水碧如蓝，这个我觉得还挺好猜的，有颜色。春水碧如蓝，它都像哪个颜色呢？
So this talk about that the spring water is
对，没错。
blue, so that means the city Qinghai in Tibet, because they all share the same color blue, so that will be the hint to that riddle. So basically, look at this is a riddle solving. So basically, look at the characters. So that you need to find that hint, either that related to the lake, or related to water, or related to a same pronunciation, or something share the same color.
对，春后就平静。
宁夏。
对，自治区的名字。那这个灯谜呢，也是就是自古以来呢，这个元宵节赏灯的时候就会有。我记得小的时候很多的灯上面都会画一个。
So this is something really special that we only do that on the Lantern Festival, so in the temple fair, or in the parks. Actually, that have prepared a lot of these kind of the riddles. So if you can guess one, and there's also a gift prepared for you.
也特别盼望着，就是每一年的赏庙会的时候呢，自己呢都能够猜到。
So basically, this is a must to celebrate the Lantern Festival. So this is also a way to really train or let our kids to think deep, or let them have that interest in finding out the answers, because that also related to the Chinese culture. And we talk about today actually is the very first day with the full moon. And we also prepared a performance. So that's also the poetry or a poem concert. So this is a live streaming app, and we talk about it today. Actually, it's the biggest holiday in China, and that marking the very last day of the Lunar New Year celebration. And so today our live streaming is also to celebrate Lantern Festival with poem. So we talk about ancient Chinese poets actually wrote countless poems praising the Lantern Festival, and now it is still fun to read.
乐，天生我材必有用，千金散尽还复来。常年来有事业为乐，贵须以300杯，成公司单手称将进酒，杯莫停。与君歌一曲，请君为我心耳听。
This is my first time to enjoy this poem by Li Bai, it's an invitation to wine. And I also see the singers, actually they are foreign friends, but you can see actually they singing in Chinese. I believe this is a great effort. And also I believe the song actually is a really nice one.
是这样，就是说我们这个所有的这个世界首演的唐诗的曲目呢，我们是这个。
So this is actually you can see that we have a 14 poem. And this one is called Changjingjiu or Invitation to Wine. So basically this we also talk about that we give around 22 poems to the composers. So basically, one poem maybe we give assigned to 2 to 3 candidates, and we choose the best one. And we talk about invitation to one, actually quite hard, because of including 181 characters, and talk about emotions, and talk about storytellings inside. I can tell you it's really tough task for the composers. So we found a composer actually cooperated already for 7 years. The composer actually was professor from Chinese Conservatory of Music, and he actually the one wrote the song for this poem, Invitation to Wine. So he has quite a really good thought. So you can see actually the music not really coming in at the very first minute. So you can see actually people actually first to do that, the recite at the very first time. So they recite. So that's basically the first 2 lines. So do you not see the yellow river come from the sky, rushing into the sea, and never come back? So we talk about this is the very first 2 lines, and for our foreign friends, they at least practice 200 times, 300 times, because they need to recite these lines in Chinese. So actually we work as a team. So for the singers, actually, especially I have the background with opera, we know actually it's really difficult to sing in another language. And also for our foreign singers, actually they had 0 knowledge about Chinese. So talk about the intonation, and also they need to sing and recite the lines in Chinese. I can tell you, and also of course you can imagine how difficult it is. And they actually, these group of singers practice every day. And Mr. Tian actually practiced with them every day. One letter after another, one line after another. Maybe let's invite Mr. Tian to give us a demonstration. And of course, we have to emphasize that this is a team effort. And we also invite a top expert from the opera industry to really give us the instrument and guidance. So we invite the professors from Juilliard School of Music from the United States, and also we invite the professors from the Chinese Conservatory of Music and also the Shanghai Conservative of Music. Actually, you asked me to recite these lines. Of course, I can do it. So basically, recite the lines that when hopes are won, drink or feel in high delight. Heavens has made us talents we're not made in wine. 1,000 gold coins spent, more will turn up again. So we talk about all these lines that our foreign friends, singers, they need to recite and sing all these lines. So of course we know it's very hard to learn Chinese. So for myself in high school, I learned Russian, and also my major actually is in Bulgarian. So I also know that Chinese is really difficult because I have different intonation. So if you make that a tone, so we talk about in Chinese, we have a 4 pitch of a voice that's really difficult to pronounce it in a quite accurate way, and do not need to mention about writing. And we talk about the beauty of the Chinese character actually all lies in the strolls.
成转合音调多，所以呢，它这个变化也大。但是其实说到就是诗歌，自古以来呢，就是贺诗以歌，这是一种典范。
So we talk about a poem also, not only the poem or poetry, actually all coming with music or
所以呢，在早之前呢，
the
经啊、离骚，其实都是
literature or the a music score.
古诗呢，都是一吟一唱，然后一诗一歌，所以我觉得这个创意呢特别的好，就真正让我们
So we talk about the lyric actually is very important.
曲子呢违约创作呢，又不仅仅说我们用的是古韵，那还是我们
So it's a way of a creativity, but actually just that we use a very modern Western music instruments, and also look at the lyrics or the songs. Actually, it's also quite a modern style. It's not the ancient style. So this is an ancient poem, but actually that collaborate or the catalyst with the a modern lyrics. So the composer actually is got his doctorate degree from Tchaikovsky Music School, and he was a really outstanding one in the field. We talk about in the poetry industry or the people talk about back to the Tang Dynasty, actually not really speak the Mandarin, that we understand the Mandarin how it sounds today. So maybe that back then to the Tang Dynasty, maybe actually they spoke in Cantonese or maybe the dialects in Hubei. So I also think about maybe try. I maybe have a try to maybe sing or recite a poetry in Cantonese. Maybe I believe that can add additional flavor or maybe restore the original look, sound, and feeling back to the poetry of Tang Dynasty. So like Cantonese is really another language of the world to me.
在电视面前，
我还只会2句嘛，至少呢，
你好啊，你好啊。
至少我还会说这个縮水就冇問題，係咁樣就唔該水啊，恭喜發財。
这样，我们让这个 Masa 用广东话来朗诵几句唐诗，好不好？
So maybe that invite Masa.
哎，你别你用普通话，我就不会讲。床前明月光，疑是地上霜。舉頭望明月，低頭思故鄉。
哦，来了。
这个音调
So this is actually that the lady just recited the lines in Cantonese. So that's totally different taste and feelings. So either you actually recite the lines in the Mandarin or in Cantonese. It's actually sounds like different songs, or it's like different lyrics. So actually for those lines, of course, language, that's the beauty of language. If you speak in different language, that bring the different flavors.
想听一点台州话。
台州话可以讲啊，这个台州话讲的没法听懂。
哎，听懂了，
听懂了，有点像上海话，没法听懂。
So we talk about different language. Actually, it's different tones.
就是一下子这个挺难转换过来的，是吧？嗯。
So I believe that a different language really that bring the different melodies to us.
苏州为音乐会呢
And we also talk about that a concert actually is undergone a very long time for preparation. And actually, you look at the singers, actually, there are foreign friends. So a very big task or the everyday homework for them. They need to practice and learn Chinese every morning. So for Mr. Tian or Madam, Madam President of the organization. So who came up with this idea? So this is the I-Sing, that's our organization. We established for quite a long time and we held more than a dozen concerts and also stage opera, Peking opera. For myself, we need to think about something the original works made by I-Sing. So talk about the portrait of the Tang Dynasty. Actually, from my own perspective, that's my longing hope, because I really love poetry since I was really young, and also especially plus my experience seeing overseas. Still, like something with me in my DNA is still a quite deep-rooted Chinese culture, and we talk about that actually for the young kids in China. We always need to write the poetries in our early days. So some of the lines actually you cannot really forget. And of course, we talk about the year 2020. The COVID-19, as the sudden onslaught of COVID-19 really gave a very heavy blow to the whole world in every aspect of economy, trade, and also to our performance as well, because we canceled all the offline performance. And we organized a competition inviting the composers from 18 countries, because this can be held online. So we invite the composers around the world. Actually, we invite the young generations of the composers, because we would like to seize their feelings about the poetry. And actually, this lasted for 7 months. So this is an online competition. So this is an I-Sing competition. And around 8,000 candidates joined our competition. I will only choose 285 singers to the finals. They're actually eager to learn Chinese and would like to sing the poetry in Chinese. So basically, that's how we start these performance. Of course, we will continue our endeavor. Show must go on. So just now, our foreign singers performed the Changjingjiu. Let's see, a song for drinking, or let's see, invitation to wine. So we talk about actually the very beginning line, actually not really included in the poem. Actually, that's the I would like to invite you to wine, and also please listen to me, and I would like to sing for you. And then that will come to the first line, do you not see the yellow river come from the sky? So I believe actually you always know that the poetry always comes with the music or the lyric. So once again, you are watching our live coverage. This is a special series, about Chinese New Year, and this is our live stream series brought to you by CGTN New Media, and also today is the Lantern Festival, and this is the last day, marks the final day of the traditional Chinese New Year celebration. And the ancient Chinese poets wrote countless poems praying the Lantern Festival, and also would like to share some lines with our viewers. And also today is the final episode. So we will also show you a spectacular concert. So look at it, this is the doll. Actually, it is featured with Suzhou style. And we made this dedicated for the lucky viewers. So this is actually coming with a blind box. Basically, you not really know what kind of doll inside the box. So depend on your luck. So we talk about the culture that always represents the soft power of the one country, and we need to really think about how we can show the strengths of the Chinese culture, or how we can better tell the story or let more people to understand, to know, embrace our Chinese culture. So that's actually lies in the way how you communicate with other people about Chinese culture. I believe actually a poem of the Tang Dynasty with a modern lyric or model is actually a very good way to let people buy in the Chinese culture. So another is a poems from Song Dynasty. So we talk about the Chinese classical literature, especially the Tang and the Song poetry actually is very important and are the shining pearls in the treasury house of Chinese literature. So we believe that we can through different ways to bring the beauty of the poems to our global audience. And we also talk about today actually coming with the live stream is a very special and spectacular concert. So this concert, basically you will enjoy the outstanding foreign singers sing the poetry from Tang and Song Dynasty. And actually, we also worked with different organizations, invite the outstanding the singers, composers to join our activities. So for us this time, we also invite I-Sing to join our opening ceremony this year for our event. And also talk about the composer competition online that happened last year, organized by I-Sing. So basically invited the foreign composers to make lyrics for the poetry of Tang and Song Dynasty. And also I believe that's the highlight part is that use kind of like an opera way to sing or perform poetry by our foreign singers on the stage. So we think about that, how we can really tell a good story about Chinese culture, how we make that story very easy understood by our foreign friends. I believe this kind of concert is really nice try. And also for that concert actually happened in Suzhou, and we invited 9 foreign singers. to Suzhou to perform on the stage. So I believe our foreign singers actually really enjoy and understand more about the Chinese culture, and they also enjoyed the hospitality provided by people in Suzhou, especially during the quarantine time period. Actually, they enjoyed quite a lot. And we also talk about the poetry of Tang and Song dynasty. Actually, it's also a way to think about how we can really bring that the Chinese lines translated into English. So for myself, actually, I knew their icing quite a long time ago. I just knew the icing, but we didn't have any cooperation before. But actually, one day I received a proposal regarding their concert. So this has touched me. So we make that decision to say that we need to do this concert right away. This is a really good initiative, very creative, very fresh way. So we also had a documentary to basically record the whole preparation, the efforts, endeavor made by the whole team, and also we talk about we invited 9 foreign singers. Actually, they need to quarantine. And actually, time really counts. So actually, during the quarantine time, they use the smartphones to learn and practice Chinese language. And talk about their first show. Actually, I can tell they received a really overwhelming response from the audience. Their performance actually is very popular and welcomed by the viewers, by the audience. So I believe by doing so, actually, that's also narrowed the distance between the Chinese singers or the composers and Western counterparts. So we talk about actually the whole effect or result actually far beyond our expectation. Madame Liu actually played a key role in coordinating the related parties. And also, of course, she's a really good chef. So, to really treat everyone a good food. I'm really happy, and also our foreign singers that they understand the Chinese food and also learn the Chinese language. And right now they can sing and perform on stage in Chinese to really perform the Tang and Song poetry.
那可多，您这有机会啊，上他家里去尝尝。
So talk about that a feast prepared by Madame actually is you have to try. And I can tell you actually she's really well known cooking Peking duck. Peking duck. So let me speak for her. You know that from the very beginning, to clean the duck, to make it ready to cook. That's my job, So I'm the one right now speak. So give you example, actually, we live in New York, and we moved to New York in 1991 from Colorado. And actually, we talk about we ate more than 2,400 ducks. So we really counted every ducks. So we just stopped counting at 2040. But I can tell you actually we still actually ate more. So right now we believe the rough number is around 2,400. And you can find more information online about how Madame cook Peking duck.
除了他帮我
那个不是
洗一下
需要一种填鸭吗？这个在美国也
不需要不需要，我跟你说，美国的你听说过长岛吗？在纽约外面。
So Long Island
鸭就是跟我们的鸭子一样。
duck actually is similar as a duck for Peking duck.
这样容易烤出来，就是外
So actually it's very a rich texture.
去买这个鸭子是我最困难的，因为我每一做我就想做好几只，所以很重。
And actually, I'm not really cook for one duck. Actually, for every time, I really cook 2 to 3 ducks. So from buying ducks to preparing the pre-work, actually it's all Mr. Tian's job. So back to Chinese New Year. So talk about the every time if I have the chance to perform on stage of the Metropolitan Opera. Actually, I performed for 2 decades. Okay, Madame basically prepared. That's a lot of really nice food for the staffs. Because for us, we need to perform online, right? So we cannot really eat Peking duck before we sing, right? We need to perform. We need to always keep ourselves in a good shape so we can have a good performance on the stage. So we always talk about the singers. You cannot eat Peking duck. So basically, the really nice food of the feast are basically prepared for the staff. So the people tell me that we're not really because you're a good singer. We keep you in the Metropolitan Opera because Madame can really cook really nice Peking duck, really nice food. That's the reason we actually keep you in the team. And also, actually, Madame also can do the spring rolls, dumplings.
就是您在大都会演出的几天当中，这个送给大家的这个美食是不一样的，是吧？
没有，就一顿而已。我做一顿就够了，因为那个上下好多人。
So it's a whole bunch of people, right?
这工作量也相当大。
对。
So it's more than 100 people.
在北京啊，我觉得小卢你有机会。
That's the number of staff in the Metropolitan Opera. So basically, the Madame prepared the food for the backstage staff. And also talk about during the Chinese New Year, actually at the backstage of the Metropolitan Opera. It's more or less like the same setting here. We have that the decoration. And I also cooked Peking duck, dumplings, fried beef, pork. So prepared a lot of food for the staff.
正在播放我们的这个幕后的纪录片，对，已经看到这一大桌子的这个美食。廖老师，这些都是您做的，对不对？
不是，
这不是您做的。
这个是一个国际晚餐。
So they also have a documentary recording that behind the stage stories happened. So look at the Madame basically right now is cooking the feast. And you can see actually that look at the dishes, quite international style. So we have porridge, we have a spring roll, homemade curry. And also we have a mashed potato. So look at actually they are the invited foreign singers. And this is basically the documentary recording that their stay in Suzhou for the concert. So this is a documentary that's named Time Together Across the Street. So the music, food. Actually, this is a really nice, amazing evening. So people can see they are very happy and enjoying that moment.
然后他们就加进来了，用俄罗斯文唱，这两个都是俄罗斯。
因为我们这个艺术节是这个中国第一个声乐艺术节，所以这个呢，其实是我们的理念都是一致的，就是歌唱。我认为歌唱是最容易沟通。
So this is the very first kind of the vocal music art activities held in China. So you can see the singers actually use singing the songs as the language to communicate with other. Of course, language actually cannot this kind of communication because like the lyrics, the melodies always go across the border. So this is a kind of the activities actually that's going on for many years, and you can see actually this is a large family. So the communication, the sharings actually happened all the time. So we talk about the icing singers. We would like to do an activity called How Are You? So we talk about our singers from 30 countries. They quite proactively pitched in saying they would like to join with us. So basically, they just had like a 1 minute message. So someone they sing their song or the Chinese songs they learned 4 years ago. I can tell you it's a really touching message. We talk about people with a different language, different background, from different race. Actually, I believe that's the touching moment. We talk about that, the moving. The memories actually that's very easy to be shared. So you always can see that the people's big smiling face. So I believe it's not just music to music, it's more soul to soul communication.
上面呢红底，然后有这样的黄色的这个标志，以前是白色的。
So right now you are watching the special coverage about Chinese New Year, and today we celebrate the Lantern Festival with poem. And we talk about today's Lantern Festival and also marking the final day of traditional Chinese New Year celebrations. And we talk about the ancient Chinese poets wrote countless poems during the Lantern Festival. And also we talk about actually the icing organization. Actually, they did a great job inviting the composers to create the lyrics, melodies for the tongue and song poetry, and also invited the foreign singers who perform on the stage in Suzhou. So this is a documentary basically recording the whole performance, and it's behind the scenes stories. So that's the concert staged in Suzhou. And this is a right river valley as from Russia. So you can see the singers from Russia joined. And we talk about actually, look at, for this song actually is 6 singers. They may speak or sing in different language, but actually for the same song. How amazing it is.
这个女高音歌唱家， 可以用这个可以用
Like, this is really
苏州话唱评弹。
becomes an
哦
interactive.
苏州评弹。
And the colleagues that are here,
日
you
落
know,
乌啼
some of
风
them
满
I've
天
met before, others I've just seen pictures.
天哪，那我们的音乐会上有他的演出。
音乐会当然是这个唱这首曲目是用
以前有
用
2年前好像是他唱，这个因为是唐诗，所以他没有唱。
Actually,
但是
I
我们
speak
吃饭
in
的时候，
Suzhou
经常
dialect.
就叫他站起来唱。
对应
And also performed in Suzhou 评弹。
田老师，我觉得您和廖老师呢，真的是这个
So
最
Suzhou
好的
评
文化的
弹
这
is
个
a
传播的
combined
使者，
term
中国
for
文化的传播使者，
评话 and
中国唐诗的普及者。
that's a kind of the art circles of Southern Yangtze
国
River.
家的青年艺术家都能跟您贺下句呀。
So you can see as long as you started the a first tone or the a first line of the song, actually the other singers they can quickly join you.
但是我觉得其实很简单，这个没有支持，没有这个什么，我们是也根本就做不成的，对不对？比如讲，我给你讲一个故事，这次我们
So we talk about, of course, we received great support
世界首演。
from the different
首先我就要说这个
partners.
比赛以后呢，根本就不知道去年什么时候可以把这个音乐会。
So we talk about actually we had
我们夏天
that online competition because every year before the COVID-19 pandemic, every summer actually we had a performance in summer, and but last year actually we did not know exactly when at the time we were allowed to stage a performance. So we had this chance last year in the summertime. We bring the whole show, the whole performance in Suzhou.
我们就说到我们这个比赛有
So I talk about that we had 14
苏州市委的领导就说做这个音乐会。
songs, and actually we received great support from the Suzhou government.
剧场的日期是11月24号。
时间非常紧。
怎么能做外国的歌唱家呢
Talk about that. We didn't know back then whether we could invite the foreign singers because that we only got a really short time for preparation.
跟这个中远集团是多少年多合作，对不对？那么我就跟这个梵经，是这个中国对外文化集团的这个梵经哈，我们合作，还有文化部的这个刘晓明。
So we also received great support from the Ministry of
合作
Culture,
当时这个李总，这个第一次我们见面。
the Ministry of Tourism and Culture, and also people actually
麻辣做饭，
work together.
知道了，冠
Madam actually cooked for everyone.
来廖老师的美食。
I believe that's maybe the secret behind.
中远集团合作这个
For the finally, we successfully brought the show, made it
因为
happen.
李总非常痛快，就这样做，然后李总的酒量也非常好。
And talk about
别在这里给我宣传。
the gentleman here. Actually, he was the really strong helper. He actually helped us
然后
to make the show
我们都这个
staged
知道就是
in
有外国
Suzhou.
歌唱家参
And
加
actually, the one of the biggest thing is like because the one of the highlight is we invite the foreign singers perform on stage, and also the foreign affairs of Jiangsu government actually give us the green
这
lights.
些歌唱家们这个
So issued the visa in a really short time, and we invited them to
李
Suzhou.
老师，您最难忘的整个
So for Mr. Li, during the whole preparation, what impressed you the
有
most?
很多非常难忘的这个
Actually, we could tell you that there are a lot of really great
比较难忘的
memories.
我觉得是田老师跟廖老师
First, Mr. Tian and Madame Liao,
付出的努力和
their efforts
非常的
devoted themselves
第二个
to
呢
this
就是在
endeavor.
国这个艺术家到了中国以后，
And also,
第
we
一个
talk
是
about
在
the foreign
隔离的方面
singers. When they arrived in China, of course, they should first quarantine. And in a very, very short time, they need to practice, first learn, and then practice Chinese. And also, we talk about the Suzhou government and authorities give us great support, as well as the International Cooperation Department from Ministry of the Culture and Tourism give us a quite
应该说非常非常的这个辛苦。
support
这个实际上
and
是我
help.
觉得是这样。其实这个在这里头，我们看的纪录片里头，还有我们这个指导老师，特别是这个。
So in our documentary, actually also have the instructors included. Actually talk about the really picky, and I believe that's their attitude toward their work. They have really high standards.
10年功啊，这实际上在这里头体现了。我们在这个放这个宣传这个纪录片的时候，很多人都谈到。 这艺术家在台上是非常光鲜的，其实他
We talk about actually for the. We talk about that 1 minute on the stage takes 10-year practice.
这个音乐会做成。
So I believe that reflects the hard work paid behind the scene. Of course, this is not just one person could be the hero. It's a group. It's a teamwork. So our teams from China, as officials from the Chinese side, as also as our foreign singers.
对外文化集团有限公司，包括方方面面，我们的使领馆、我们的文化和旅游部这样的，大家呢共同能够促成这样的一个。
So with everyone pitching in, we made this spectacular show staged in Suzhou in the extraordinary year of year 2020. I believe that's a great milestone. And let's look at another show. So that's so great, right? Very amazing show. I believe actually that's the very first time for me to see that, and also the host for the children's program. I believe actually you can see actually the dancers as well as the singer, they have really good chemicals going on the stage, and they really doing themselves in that show. And also you can see that's the a song. That's the a song for the goose. I believe that is so fresh to me. How do you feel, Mr. Lee? We talk about opera, always like this is be a high register, should be really elegant. But look at this one, this is so cute, right? And we talk about for the young generation and for the kids. Actually, I believe this may be one of the first poem for them to learn. So this is a classic tongue poem called a goose from the poet Luo Bin Wang. So also look at the back, the screen at the back, that the her main visual actually is the cartoon. I believe actually for all that subtle, very sweet details really make that show. So for the idea for this goods, I believe there are a lot of things actually you can create for the poem. So we'll sing about that. We should let one singer to sing this, or let the young kids to perform, or we invite a group of the adult singers to perform. So we discuss with the team for many times. We believe that we may invite 6 foreign female singers, and also we have that the keys to perform the dancing part, and Holly actually the very famous the singers, the very young one. So actually, we talk about actually for her performance went viral online, and we talk about actually you can really like sing in a very high tone. It's quite well known the coloratura. So we talk about that means goose in Chinese. So that's really difficult for them to perform this very simple song. Because for the pronunciation, if we mark it, so just the E in English. So it's like a, it's not a, it's So actually this sound not really exists, at least in English. So like for the singers at the very beginning, they couldn't really pronounce that sound. So you know that this kind of sound they practice every day. And also talk about the last singer as also the highlight of this song. So she actually can sing a 1 octave higher than the normal. Coloratura, so basically you can see actually she sing in a very high tones, and also look at the movement, so cute and really easy. And because we invite kids to the show, you know actually that's very good interaction between the singers and the audience, because the kids in the audience seats actually they really like to join us and also learn that move. And we talk about that. I also ask a group of 500 children to say whether you know the poem called Good. Yes. So that 500 children can actually recite that poem. So this is called a good.
把一个孩子齐声跟你一起背的时候。
She is singing toward the sky with the beautiful night painting in such lovely curve. I believe that when you see a group of 500 children actually recited this poem to you, it's really touching. So that's why that made me decide to bring this poem on the stage. So you can see this is something, the highlight or the fun part of the concert. Speaking of the Lantern Festival and also the poem, actually they always go along with each other. So we talk about one is very important, a poem by Xin Qiji. So that's the one line that famous is when all at once I turn my head, I find her there where lantern light is dimly shined. So talk about the poem, actually there are a lot of really the house known famous lines. And another one, the 生家子缘溪 by the Ouyang Xu. So that's last year at the Lantern Festival, the flower market lights were bright as daytime when the moon mounted to the top of the willows. Two lovers came to the tryst just after twilight. This year at the Lantern Festival, both the moon and the lights are the same as last year, only the lovers of the yesteryear is nowhere to be found, and tears drench the sleeves of his spring gown. So it's a sad song, but actually there are a lot of quite this kind of famous poems from Song and Tang dynasty. So there are a lot of the poems talk about the love stories and also the full moon stories. So there are a lot of the lines to describe the beauty of the moon because that's the very first full moon in the new year. So we also talk about a full moon that also symbolizes a family reunion. So that's always bring the quite touching stories, and we also talk about that the lights or the lantern plus moon that's bring the additional romantic feelings to the whole atmosphere. We talk about the beauty of the poem. We talk about the whole feelings, the whole environment described in the language in the poem, or the rhythm actually brought by the poem. I believe that a lot of things actually can be conveyed by your concert, and plus you make it that internationalized. I believe that may be additional meaning or the rhythm, the beauty, the melody you gave to these poems. So that concert actually is not just a concert. Actually, I believe that will have a quite deep memory left to the audience, to our foreign singers, or to Mr. Lee, these kind of our partners, to make this show happen, to make it done and done in a good way. I believe for our foreign friends, they will for sure remember some of the very beautiful lines or the poetry. So we talk about that the Changqingjiu, that's really the muscular or the quite strong feeling invitation to wine, or that this goose, this very kind of the quite cute poetry, because that's the very first poem learned by the young children. I believe it's something quite different. So basically, you provided quite a big feast of Tang poetry. And of course, right now, this time for the concert, actually, majority of the songs actually for the Tang poetry. I believe maybe coming up, we can have a different series, right? Maybe next time we can have song poetry, because Tang and the song poetries are the assets, or we talk about they are the pearls in our treasury house of the Chinese culture. So right now, let's say when we put an end to the pandemic, we will have more shows going on, performed in different cities and different places. Maybe we can have a touring performance, not only in China but also maybe overseas. Of course, there are abundant assets in the Chinese culture, so I believe there are a lot that we can bring to the stage. And talk about the special coverage, and this is a live stream series about Chinese New Year, actually explored in the past 10 days to the 10 different cities in China to showcase the rich diversity of Chinese culture during the Chinese Lunar New Year holiday. So we invited our foreign friends visit the 10 different cities to experience how a different custom in different cities and help people in different places celebrate Chinese New Year in different styles. I believe this is kind of a new style, a training style for this year to celebrate the New Year. This is a online reunion celebration. So we talk about that. This is also organized and initiated by the Ministry of Culture and Tourism. So we work with the embassies and also with the localities to organize these large-scale cultural activities. So we like to celebrate the Chinese New Year with our Chinese friends, the overseas Chinese as our foreign friends. Because right now you can see a lot of things actually can be happened online. We also would like to bring more activities to celebrate the Chinese Lunar New Year with our foreign friends online. So actually every year we actually had the activities in 200 cities around the world. More than 1,000 performance staged every year during the Lunar New Year. So also you can see that right now some countries actually also make the Chinese Lunar New Year as their bank holiday. And also you can see actually for the other countries, actually they also celebrate the Chinese New Year. At least foreign people or foreign friends know Chinese Lunar New Year. And when they see Chinese people, they always wish them a happy Chinese New Year. I believe this is very important. So we talk about the Eiffel Tower, also turned to bright colors, and the Empire State Building in the United States, and same in Japan. Actually, they all make it in the color red to celebrate the Chinese New Year. And also the high quality performance actually so be staged overseas to celebrate the Chinese New Year. So we have to mention that because we made the show happen, a lot of our staff actually in the past at least 1 decade, they have not celebrated the Chinese New Year with their family. So they feel sorry to their family because they have the elderly to take care and also have the very little ones at home.
这些外交官们一样，一般的时候就是春节期间他们会找来休假回国休假，在这个时候。
We talk about our diplomatic officers overseas. Some of them actually usually take their holidays or annual leave. And coming back to China to celebrate the New Year with their family, but because of these DA shows, and they actually give up their holidays to make the shows perform on the overseas stage, and their hard work right now paid back.
没错。正像刚才李老师介绍的那样，春节呢，对于这个所有的中国人、华人来说呢，是一个最重要的节日。
We talk about Chinese New Year is one of the most important holiday among the Chinese, no matter where you are. So people always would like to go back to the home to celebrate with their family members. Because of the COVID-19 this year, we ask the Kolan people to stay put to celebrate a new year. And we talk about that in order to bring the Chinese culture and introduce them to overseas audience. And actually people devoted themselves in promoting Chinese culture overseas. So they did a lot of work. So we talk about this is culture means that soft strength of a country. So we talk about that the beauty of the Chinese culture can be better understood by our foreign friends.
所以我们今年呢，央视频呢也是用自己的这样的方式呢，用大话春节。
So we believe that right now you can see at least our hard work paid back, and also this year CGTN used 10 days, our special coverage, to show actually the diversity of the Chinese culture during the Chinese Lunar New Year holidays, to show our global audience how Chinese people celebrated the New Year. So this is part of the Chinese culture. I also would like to invite our global audience to get more knowledge about the Chinese custom, Chinese culture, and also bring the Chinese culture closer to our foreign friends.
是在这一段的整个的排练演出过程当中呢，相处的非常非常的好。看您们的这个就是。
So look at that the concert actually is a very successful one, and also I believe that he had a quite good friends, right? And I believe actually our foreign singers had a quite good memory and experience.
我就是说哆啦哆咪哆。
OK， 可以。
为什么他们其实最终你想想，他们都是为了这个爱生。
黄鹤楼 ，Be ready。
艺术家其实都很脆弱，玻璃一样。当然我很幸运，夫人很支持，所以我老转嫁到她那儿。那么他是个科学家，他是个遗传学家，他的性格又好。 但是每个人有每个人的承受。我说你至少有3次要跳楼了，然后大家都在笑，然后马特很安静地说5次。
朋友聚会的时候，他曾经说，肯定你有至少3次想跳楼。我说那马特说什么？他说马特特别平静地说5次。
您还是舍不得田老师。
哎呀，不然谁来找他呢？车要开了，别
年轻时候会喝快酒，回家吃饭。
张先生，
哎，对，
请进来，进来。哎呀，简直是不可思议！
挺着急这个话。
再晚一点我们就要出事了。啊！来喽！哎，这么多，哎呀，值得还是不值得？这个是他要的。你看，里面多漂亮！
漂亮。
设计师他是个日本人，他把他妈妈的和服剪了，这个，所以他就可能穿这个上台。
Yes. Okay.
And broadcasts to the whole world.
不成雪。黄河之水天上来，奔流到海不复回。床前明月光，疑是地上霜。
因为疫情的话，改变了很多事情。特别是人的这种对于艺术的看法。
I'm ready to go out. I'm going to miss the birds every morning. I'm going to miss the view of the lake. Thank you, Catherine.
The singing is not the job, it's your whole life that suddenly stop. You think that life is become empty.
So the concert and the documentary actually reinforce each other. And plus, actually, we have that honor to invite our three guests to talk about more stories happened on the stage and behind the scene. I believe that provides a whole round of the views to let our audience know more about that concert. So this is a very special one, a very spectacular one. I also invite our viewers, if you have a chance, please do watch that concert and also the documentary, because that's really a very fresh, creative way to bring a Tang poetry with the modern lyric and medley, and performed by our foreign singers and Chinese singers. So I believe this is a really great show and a very special one. A lot of highlights included. And for Masa, I saw you cried hard, right? Share with us your thoughts and how did you feel? Actually, I saw the rehearsal, so it's the rehearsal with the orchestra. I can tell you actually the tears, I cannot really help myself stop crying. Actually, you make me cry. I can tell you this is really mission impossible. So it's a mixed feeling actually. I could share with that it's actually impossible that when you saw all the singers, like they had that rehearsal with the orchestra, and finally we had our D-Day. Actually, you talk about that there are a lot of uncertainty and instability because of COVID-19, because of the different factors. We talk about finally we make the show happen, we bring that to the stage, and everyone's so cooperative. They're so devoted themselves. It's not just a show, it's not just a concert. It's a really happy journey. Right now I can share with you that still, when I look back, actually with everyone pitching and they make their own job well, actually didn't any selfish part, they didn't give up. Everyone just like go together hand in hand, moving forward. Everyone is irreplaceable, and even hotel staff really helpful. What about Mr. Tian? Your show must first touch yourself, right?
因为我是这样觉得，就是说的这个纪录片呢，今天大家是第一次见到这个纪录片。
So I believe for our audience, actually, the very first time I watched that documentary. So we talk about that. The friends, first of all, I say hello to all our foreign friends. Happy Chinese Lantern Festival. Of course, a lot of people would like to see the concert, and do invite you to watch our documentary because there are a lot of things included in that documentary. Actually, we play documentary twice before. The documentary total lasts for around 2 hours. And we invite people from a Grand National Theatre, and also the people from different sectors, like finance, economy, cultural, tourism. So first of all, they told me is that really touching stories. To talk about the project, to talk about everyone. Actually, there are a lot of people involved. And also they talk about they can feel that good faith conveyed from that documentary. So the director for the documentary, is Meng Danfeng, and also the cameraman, the editors. So look at all these pictures, footage. You could not see that the pictures that the camera team, the shooting team, they sat down and eat. We didn't know when was the time they actually took a rest. And you look at actually, this is in Suzhou, you can see the people enjoying the tangyuan. Actually, this is something actually we celebrate a Lantern Festival. And I believe this is just right in time. So we talk about the camera team, the shooting team. Actually, they always capture different moments, different pictures, different stories of our show, of our concert, and also the practice, the rehearsal. And they didn't actually rest. So I believe actually the camera team, the shooting team, demonstrate the whole spirit and effort, the attitude among the whole team. You look at the performance, the singers, the whole staff teams. This is not a one-man show. This is a teamwork, right? Actually, this has happened in a really hard time. But the good thing is because everyone's dedication, we overcame that hardship. Right now, for us, we need to think about going forward, what we can do. We talk about the Tang, Song, even Yuan dances, poetry, and how we can bring all these on the stage. We talk about the Western opera, Western music style, the orchestra, right? How we can bring the Eastern and the Western corporate together to convey the message with the beauty of the Chinese culture, right? If we believe in ourselves, this is the right thing to do, then let's do it. We will never stop. Our efforts, our endeavor, and also, of course, show must go on.
工作的过程当中，一开始有摄像机在拍着您们，您还会说哦，我在意它的存在。但后来呢，它已经融入到了您们每一天的生活当中，您就忽略了它的存在。
So you can see that everyone is so focused on their work.
能够把您带动进去。想起哦，那个时候我们在为哪个东西而争论。
So that every 100% concentrate on our work, and you can see we have a really good discussion or even argument, but that's the argument for good. Right, and also is to think about the significance or why we did this concert and how we can do more this kind of concert. Right. I believe that we will receive our audience, your comments, maybe your wishes. To us, I believe that will be also our courage to move forward. And also, you're the host for the children's program, and our Goose poetry, and it will be from your background, from your experience. Maybe you also can give us a very good insight. So we talk about the Chinese language is so beautiful because a lot of time actually we could better understand how beautiful it is from the Tang poetry. And for the generation of Chinese people, actually we learn Tang poetry from very, very young age. And we talk about this is so classic literature. And maybe that this time is good. That maybe for the kids 3 years old, because this is something they actually on their reading list. And maybe for different age group, maybe you can prepare different kinds of Tang poetry. So I believe that's kind of the way to bring the additional interest to them, because like this is not something boring things. Actually, if you bring that music, you bring a lyric to them, because interest always guide people. You always motivate the people to do self-learning. They eager to explore more, right? Because they're interested in it. And a young composer called Li Kaichou, actually he wrote a lot of quite a popular song for the kids. And also for his kids, he worked for his kids actually right now study at elementary school, and it also had a reading list of the Tana poetry. So for the other kids actually just remembered literally the word by word. But for his kids, because his father is a composer and his father actually used a lyric to help his kids to remember all the lines. So for his kids actually, his kids really sing these poetry. I believe it's actually your work of great significance. So it's not just really for the sake of memorizing all these lines. The good thing is like we really maybe use different ways, maybe play different music instruments to convey the meaning, the beauty of Tang poetry. So maybe that you have a specific age group concert. Maybe like today's concert for children aged like 3 to 5, then we can prepare that their reading list and created a lyric, and then we can have that dedicated concert for these group of kids. Or maybe next time we can have the concert for the kids from age like 6 to 12 or 6 to 9. I believe this is a great cause that benefits thousands, millions of kids. And for Mr. Li, you involved from day one. So share with us your feelings, maybe. So we talk about actually a lot of really touching moments happened. So talk about Mr. Tan and Masa, the whole team, our foreign singers, and also the staff teams. Actually, you could find these people in the documentary. Another thing is appreciation. First, is thanks to the government. We talk about that it's not easy to invite the foreign friends to come to China. So we first thank the Ministry of Culture and Tourism and also Suzhou government. And also the two guests as well as the foreign singers. They made a great contribution and also the great support given by the government and authorities. And also for this concert, we will actually have that touring. So we will go on tour. Right, so we talk about that. We make the show a series, right? We not only focus on Tang Dynasty, so there are a lot of things actually we can explore in the vast ocean of Chinese culture. So we talk about this is a treasure house. I believe there are a lot of things waiting for us to hunt and also bring the treasure, bring the beauty of Chinese culture to all the audience, home and abroad. Thank you all. Thank you, everyone. Salute to all. And also that does for today's live show, live stream. Thank you for all our audience. Stay tuned with CGTN New Media for the past 10 days. And also if you would like to see our show, you always can download our app or search CGTN at your different social media platform. So this is the CGTN's live stream series about the Chinese New Year in the past 10 days. Actually, from February 16 to 26, we explored 10 different cities in China to showcase the rich diversity of Chinese culture during the Chinese Lunar New Year holiday. And today is Lantern Festival, marking the final day of the traditional Chinese New Year celebrations. And you know what? In the ancient days, actually the Lantern Festival or the Lantern Festival Day, also the Chinese Valentine Day. So there are also a lot of love stories happen. So today is also another romantic day because we also celebrate and also had the very first full moon day. And also, of course, we also show you the very touching story and the great spectacular show. That's a concert staged in Suzhou last year. So basically, that's the 8-ton poetry played by the orchestra and also with the foreign singers. So that make the whole show that's very attractive and amazing. So any message to our viewers? So to all our viewers, wish you in the new year all the best. Good luck. And for Masa, wish my friends, if you are right now watching the show, please see the show every day. We are CGTN New Media. Please stay tuned. So please always stay tuned with CGTN New Media. And you can also watch our shows, our live streams, different social media platforms. And from Mr. Tian, so I hope that we can see all the audience same time next year. Okay, and CGTN Media, please stay tuned with CGTN New Media, and we will also celebrate next year's Chinese New Year with all our audience. So we talk about in the past 10 days, our whole cruise worked really hard. So in the past 10 days, actually we toured different cities. In different 10 cities, actually we showcase the different customs to celebrate Chinese New Year. It's not an easy job. So big thank you to the whole crew, the whole team. So maybe let's end the show with the song. This is a household well-known song called Unforgettable Tonight.
都看着我。没有，我知道。
不，
我跟你唱，那我只能跟你唱啊。
您唱您最熟悉的。
哇，你们看着我，我太紧张了。
您唱一个您熟悉的。
You like to
唱一个什么？唱个民歌啊。
Let us sing together.
山上一朵溜溜的云哟，端端溜溜的照在长颈溜溜的朋友，月亮弯弯，长颈溜溜的朋友，月亮弯弯。
朋友。
好了，我们的大话春节10天的直播呢，到这里呢。
So with this song, this is a very love song, and that's also and our special coverage about the Chinese New Year. So wish all our friends, no matter where you are, stay safe, enjoy nice food, enjoy the good views around yourself. Please take care of yourself and your loved ones. And once again, Happy New Year to everyone. See you next year.
祝愿新的一年呢，我们这个人勤春早，百
And I wish you all the best and also prosperous. Thank you.
好，他这